So one of the surprising outcomes that I found in the world of Linux is there is a whole bunch of fanboys, pompous, arrogant asshats that think that there is only one way, the Linux way. And I was completely blown away that we have these purists, these fanboys inside of Linux that for some reason think just because you are making counterpoints or you're giving alternatives to something that Linux does that maybe Windows can also do, that you're against them and that we need to draw a line. I mean, literally, there is a coup inside of Linux that is full of nothing but extremists. Now, I recently did a video on PewDiePie moving over to Linux. And I simply made some counterpoints for those that are using Windows that, yeah, they can speed up Windows by doing X, Y, and Z. This was not a dig on Linux by any stretch of the imagination. And of course, I ended the conversation by, this is great, PewDiePie. You are using Linux, you're going to drive more adoption. But I also made the point that I felt from my experience at being a teacher and teaching Linux to children and to adults that it is very hard to make the move if you are a Windows user over to something like Linux. I can tell you, out of 10 students that I've had, 9 that only had experience with Windows that tried to make the jump over to Linux, they got frustrated and never went back. Where's the control panel? How come when I plug in a USB, it's not showing up on my desktop? What do you mean I have to mount a device? What do you mean I have to go into configuration files in order to have that device mounted on startup? Listen, I'm not going to jade you by saying Linux hasn't come a long way. It has come light years. But the crowd surrounding it, there's always been this era of pompousness, this era of I'm better than you. And I really take issue with that in this community. My only warning about PewDiePie was that, hey, I think he's oversimplifying it. Just be realistic. Don't go into this thinking you're going to do exactly what he did. And I certainly am well aware the squeaky wheel gets the grease. I'm also well aware that we live in a world, it seems like, that is very polarized and wants to include politics in everything, even an open source movement. They now are elitists, and a lot of them are exclusionary. And again, I am harping on a very small percentage of people, but I should warn you that if you're getting into this, that small voice and that small group of people, just like in politics, is pretty intense, pretty violent, pretty nasty people. Listen to this guy. This guy's named Raman Honre. He says, Linux communities beware of PewDiePie fans, regardless of PewDiePie's personal politics, which is clearly at this very least point problematic. It's fairly well known by anyone who has been following him for any number of years that the mass majority of his fan base are enthusiastic fascists. Now, I was very open. I didn't really know who PewDiePie was. I'm not one of these old school people that knew him from way back in the day. I know he had some controversy, but again, now you're just lumping all the people. I watch him now. I found him rather entertaining. Sorry, not sorry. I don't know his politics. I don't really care about his politics. He's not a political channel. I'm not watching him for that. And for this person to lump everyone in as a fascist? Are you kidding me? It just goes to show you the type of people I'm talking about. Absolutely ridiculous. It goes on. We then have another lady coming out and saying, Danielle Foray, I guess her name is, the right here is the thing you are going to have to recognize is a red flag. They are going to try to say, actually, you are an extremist and unreasonable. You're being gatekeepy. Why does it matter what someone's political views are? I guess that is what I'm saying. Don't allow the shit. No Nazis allowed in my bar, period. Don't care. Get the F out. Tell your friends I said F Nazis too. Again, more an example of an extremist who is saying, you know, hey, I want to gatekeep. You're only allowed to have a certain type of person in this world, in this community. That is a pretty predominant kind of viewpoint that I found with a lot of these extremist people. The squeaky wheel, yes, but there's a lot of them. And again, they're attacking this man who's just trying to bring exposure, and they're claiming he has certain types of politics. Again, I don't know, maybe I am being naive here, but I've looked through a lot of his videos. I didn't see anything that I noticed that was overtly political. And yet another one from a gentleman named Noel Kelly. Nazi bar warning. I just got this YouTube recommendation. This influencer has fascist followers. He's got 110 million subscribers on YouTube alone. Again, does that disqualify him? I mean, listen, you're assuming he's a fascist. You are making these assumptions. You are bringing politics into a world that shouldn't have a place for politics. I mean, literally, the feeling I get from this community and these type of people is, they're not going to be satisfied no matter what. No matter what you say, they're not going to be satisfied. So I think when you're dealing with this community, just really make sure you're looking at it through a lens and find your tribe within the community, because what was once very open, I think now is just continuing, like everything in society, to start closing down and being these extremist viewpoints and, not really being welcoming. That's the sense I get. And of course, you have fascists and you have people claiming Antifa. I guess they're the socialist arm. I don't keep up with this stuff. So it says, Toby Bernard said the following regarding people who are right-wing: F Nazis, GNOME is Antifa. What? Now we're saying that it's Antifa? So is it Antifa or is it fascist? It's funny. I saw this one gentleman. He is named Lunduke Jr. He does the Lunduke Journal. And I think he put it best. Listen to what he says about the type of person that, you have to be, or that you have to strive to be inside of this community.
What's crazy about all this is I'm seeing all of this stuff happening. And I'm seeing these crazy, profane, vulgar, angry, hateful, bigoted, and wildly inaccurate statements being stated by leadership within various Linux projects. And I'm not seeing pushback on it. I'm not significantly anyway. I'm not seeing a real strong pushback from anyone within with any significant voice anyway within the world of Linux and open source saying, okay, you guys need to sit down. You're on timeout. This is getting ridiculous. PewDiePie just made a video about how Linux is pretty. You should try it because it's cool looking. And you guys are going nuts, calling people fascists. Millions of people, hundreds of millions of people are Nazis and fascists, and you're just going at them, and you're going to gatekeep your systems and not allow them into your communities because, they're fascists, and they're not. It doesn't matter that they're not. You're going to call them that anyway. It's ridiculous.
Mr. Lunduke Journal, you're my new hero. Thank you, sir. You are illustrating exactly what I've experienced both in my own personal comments and in watching PewDiePie, just like you did, and all these people attacking him. I think this is absolutely absurd, and I can't agree with this man more. He said it probably more elegantly than I did. He's probably not as fired up as I am, just because I think it's absolutely ridiculous. And it's why I say we rename it to closed source, because that's what these people are trying to do. They are trying to exclude you. Even the gentleman in my comments trying to one-up me, trying to whatever he's trying to do, whatever his point is, that I should only be a purist with Linux and that I should tell people it's easy. That's my obligation, is to lie to people, is to just bold-faced lie to you and say, yep, you can, day one, you're going to jump over to Linux and you're going to be able to do exactly what PewDiePie did. Sorry, that's not what my channel is about, my boy. I'm always going to bring it to you correct. And with this whole thing, it's the same kind of mindset of this exclusiveness, this type of bro that's out there, this type of, I guess, I don't know what these people are. I'm not that schooled to politics. What are they? Antifa, whatever I don't know what they are, but they seem very closed-minded. And like he said, they seem very bigoted. And that's not why I got involved with open source. And what can you do? Well, you can do what I do. Research who is behind these projects. And if it's one of these people who is so far gone, that is exclusionary and is trying to keep you out of open source, that should tell you right there, their logic is a little wackadoodle, folks. A little wackadoodle is all I'm telling you. So do the research, support the projects that maybe stand on the other side of this, like I'm doing, like my friend, I hope now, from the Lunduke Journal is doing. And even though I have a smaller voice, I'm standing against all this. It's time to call this out. It's time to do like he said, make these people sit down. Anyways, normally I say like and subscribe, but if you don't like what I'm saying, I don't care. I don't care. This is what I believe in. This is what I will light a torch and carry, which is the fact that open source should remain open to all creeds, to all people, to all folks. And we don't need to hide the fact that it's pretty technical. So guess what? If you don't like it, I don't need you.